Hey, welcome everybody to our weekly group call. It is hang on one second. It is the 8th of September in the US, 9th of September where I am. So as you guys know, I'm based in the Gold Coast of Australia. Soon to have a team all over the world, which is going to be really amazing for supporting you guys globally. But at the moment, you guys are having amazing support, right? I'm sure you guys are, getting that immediate support. You've got your Discord channels, you've got your Skype channels, you've got your email. So, thanks for all the emails I've been receiving from you guys and questions. The Discord channel is very well supported. So awesome for that. Okay. So today we are going to cover, last week's performance. We're also going to cover the signal charts, looking at them, the updates, as well as our strategies. We're going to be looking at our game plan for the week ahead too. All right, so trying a new format this morning, so excuse me if I'm a little bit off. Let's jump into our results first. So I'll put this back on. We've had some really incredible movement on our signal chart, but we'll jump back into that in a moment. Let's see what's going on over here. Okay, let's get this camera off. Okay, so now that that's out the way, I can focus on the screen. Okay, so there's some very positive results for last week. So, you guys have been constantly updating the chats. I really appreciate that. It just shows what an incredible system we have. So, yeah, there we go. So starting off with, Monday, we had some results posted there for Christopher. Thank you. A bit of a MNQ. So, some results posted over there. So, I do appreciate all results posted. So, even if you have losing days, and then obviously we all have losing days and we all have losing sessions, it's important to, to keep a record of all of that. So I certainly do that with the game plan also, but generally, having extremely positive results using our system. You're obviously going to have those days, especially if you're only trading between certain times of the day, between like 9 and 11, there is a chance there could be losses incurred during that time. And, it's fine to post those results because, the system's not always going to make 100% accurate trades, not even 90%, most of the time. So, with that being said, we know we've got a fantastic system, and we know that the results over an extended period of time are very successful. Thanks also for coming up with some different templates and things. So, this is one of our templates that I see Bruce has been putting together. It's got to do with the different values of different time frames. Showing the different the tendency for the day, or lost my words this morning. the basically the buy sell bias. So which time frames, which tick values, which volume values are in buyer's territory, seller's territory. So that's all in there. So we'll cover a little bit more of that too if we get into that. Otherwise, performance, beautiful results there. So a lot of guys sharing results, which is awesome. Fantastic results again. So continue doing this. I see Blitz has been really kicking ass, which is awesome. And Medina Wick Trader. So I love seeing this. This is Mike just running his Medina Wick Trader strategy. And I'm not seeing any templates, any back end, filters used over here. So exactly what he said in the chat. You're looking for periods of where the price is in a range, and the Medina Wick Trader strategy is absolutely brilliant at trading, the price when it's in a range. So starting the strategy, pausing the strategy, and I can see over here in literally, what is a 5-minute chart? Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 in a 30-minute period, making over $3,000 with a very small drawdown. So that's awesome. It's amazing how, just being able to trade these wicks on these bars, and this was only from this was 2:30 till 3. Yeah, so it was like midday or late afternoon, just in a period of time where the price was in a consolidation and entering position. So brilliant, like that. I'm actually working on the Medina Wick Trader strategy to identify more periods of time where the price is in a range like this and the volatility is very low, direction is not really biased to any specific way, and then activate trading. So that's working on a lot of updates behind the scenes, but this is like a manual start and stop. So selecting your trading time frame, pressing the start button, letting the strategy trade, and then pausing it once you are happy with your results or you see price moving away according to a signal chart. So I like that. That's really cool. It's exactly how it's meant to actually be traded. So cool. So there we go. So signal charts. So signal charts are extremely, extremely powerful to determine what the market is doing. So in a situation like this, where you're looking at like this is a 5-minute chart trading the Medina Wick Trader strategy. So to be able to identify what are the best trading times for the session, those signal charts are super important. So before I jump into that, though, the game plan. So last week we had the game plan results. I traded on the game plan Monday to Thursday. So not a very huge profit for the week. I think I ended up on 823. I think it was about 2,000 at one stage. 1.5. So drawdown on the Thursday. So a bit of a shorter week too, obviously, because we had Monday that was cut off. So the trading was a bit short. And it's the same with this week, guys. So, obviously we've got September 11th this week. So there's going to be a shorter week. And as such, I've also, kept the same templates for next week for my game plan. So I'm going to be running those. But I also see that there's been some really good templates shared in the chat for Baseline Wick Trader and the analytical strategy. So, if you guys feel free to run those, and I might update mine during the week, but that'll be documented very well inside the chats. Okay, so signal charts. So I mentioned on the call a little bit earlier about the signal charts. So we had an incredible start to the session. So loading the session up, beginning of the session, you would have had some breakout markers left behind. We actually had some extremely, extremely powerful and accurate arrows this session too. So we've had the beginning of the session we've had the beginning of the session, this one plotted over here, then these three at the bottom over here. So they've been extremely brilliant. Actually, all of these arrows, if you purely traded on the arrows today, you would have actually been scalping extremely well. So I've noticed over here on this last one, so if I remove these drawing objects and I look at this, so in real time, you're looking at the far right of the chart. Okay, so we all know that at the far right of the chart is where you need to make your trading decisions. And as you're looking at the chart, you'll see how the momentum line is constantly shifting above and below the price. So like over there, you would have noticed that, the momentum line was below price, and, we've had our divergence dots over there. We had the momentum line change coloring. So a very good indication of a possible reversal in price and the strength of a reversal is how long that momentum line has changed color for. So you'll notice over here, you'll see this momentum line only changed color briefly over there. So we had mostly cyan coloring, and then as the price moved up, went up a little bit of magenta, but it's kind of stayed that cyan coloring and then dropped. And then just over here with these divergences there, we still got some gold bars. We still got divergences, and obviously they love to push the price just a little bit further down to take out stops before they decide to pull the price, to pull the price around. So that happens all the time. So then we've got our magenta, the bar coloring, the line coloring. We've got our final divergence over there, and then bar coloring going up. And then we've had, an arrow over there from the shadow trading. And notice the momentum line. It's facing down. See how it's facing down on the far right? Now, this is the far right of the chart, right? So this is exactly what you'll be seeing in real time when you're looking at this chart. So you're looking at this magenta line, God damn it, the momentum line, and it's got, it's the cyan color. It's facing right down. Now notice how notice the coloring of the momentum line, and notice how the price just nicked up. The momentum line is still staying pretty low. Very brief change in color, but immediately changing back to cyan. So like I said, they'll pull the price down, they'll go up, take out stops before they, pull the price down again. So that is what happens all day, every day. You very, 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 very seldom are going to see a situation where they're going to pull the price, take the price straight up and straight down. That's not going to happen extremely frequently, right? They're always going to take the price down, take the price up a bit, come down a bit lower, because people are entering trades. Remember, people are entering positions, predicting a price going in a certain direction. Then they're putting their stop below the previous low, and they're just getting caught out. They're just being, their stops are being taken out, and then the price is going. So that's why this indicator, with the with the momentum line, and you will see it shift. And you also got to be a little bit. This is a little bit tricky because it's the beginning of the session, but you've got to adjust the chart. And I know at the beginning of the session, you're gonna see, a gap in the price from where the price ended last week. So this is it's clearer as the day progresses on. But you're gonna see that momentum line is going to be extremely, extremely accurate in predicting those price reversals. You're going to see it's going to go above price. Like over there, you see how it went above the price in real time. Now, if you've got your chart squeezed too much like this, it's not going to be accurate. Now, in the past, I did have like a vertical line to show you where the momentum line should be, or how the chart should be positioned, but it's not. It's not really ideal. You've got to move this manually, and the best way to do it is to move it as the price is going. Now, as I said, this is not the best time to do what I'm doing specifically here, because there is a gap in the market from the open. But if you can get the last low, the last extreme low, and the last extreme high on the chart, it's actually fine. Look, I'm talking crap. It's working fine, because there we got our last extreme low, which was almost at 5 p.m. or 4:54 p.m. on Friday. So we got that, and we got our last high. So if you got that positioned initially when you start the indicator, you are perfectly fine to get going from there. And then as you move, you just have to have the chart like this. So you don't have to have it squeezed. You don't want to see it squeezed. You want to see the momentum line do this. So as soon as you see like a high form, you see the price, go up, the momentum line staying down, then you've got the positioning of this correct. Because remember, we always need to make sure that the far right of the chart, the important side of the chart for the decision making, is, where everything is displaying correctly. So it takes a bit of time to, really get into, trading the signal chart, but it's an absolute money printer once you get used to it. And there is a document that I've prepared for it. So extremely powerful. And then, you're going to have breakout markers left behind. So there we had, first of all, we had the price come back down again. Okay, then we had an arrow over here for a brief retracement. Then we actually had a breakout marker being left behind. Oh, God damn it. Just 1 second. I'm going to put this thing off. Some people always call it the wrong time, Anyway. Where was I before? I was rudely interrupted. Oh, yes. Okay. So that's going to be moving on. You're going to have the price move on. You've got the magenta. So breakout volume markers. So breakout volume markers are points of interest where significant volume and a lot of other things have been pumped. Volume has been pumped into the market. There's certain criteria that's falling into place. So to uncomplicate everything, I just put a marker to be left behind. So that marker being left behind is a real pivotal interest point in the market. So you don't have to go and have volume analysis and all this crap that people have on charts, because this is going to be an all-encompassing omen for you guys to use. Okay, so as the price moves, you're going to see, that marker prove to be the point of support and resistance. We had, the prices bounce around this, our trend following filter and then break up. So, a little bit of up and down at the moment. Now we've got, we've got some more divergences here with a tomato colored bar, depicting another reversal. But, this momentum line is kind of a creeping upwards. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing just keeps running up. We also do not have any significant resistance for price because there's no strong Fibonacci's above. You see, we've got, we've got the stronger Fibonacci's are much higher up, and there's a bit of a gap between those. So Fibonacci's, it's purely like a price reversal. It's telling you how much price has reversed for different time frames. So that's why they're extremely important, because, you got to get some sort of a measure of retracement of price. So that's why the Fibonacci levels are so extremely important, and why they also come into play very often. So even over here, even though I didn't actually mention this a few minutes ago, but even over here, we had a monthly 23.6 Fibonacci come into play as the price, and it kind of reacted according to this Fibonacci all the way from the session open. So there we had session open, kind of a bounce around, break through, bounce around, break over, bounce off. So this Fibonacci level, this 23.6, actually was extremely pivotal since the beginning of the session, because what it's doing is it's, the banks and institutions who are looking at specific price levels, because, they're not looking at time. They're not looking at 5-minute bars, 10-minute bars, 15-minute bars. They're looking at price levels, and, and those are the determining factors. And obviously being a 23.6 for a monthly, it is a price level. So that is why price is going to react around this. And it's all about seeing, how far, when the banks and institutions enter their positions, how far price actually moves away from those positions, and what price does when it reaches them. And then they can determine the strength of those levels and then push the price in a certain direction. So quite a fantastic or fabulous thing, that is behind the scenes into the minds of, how trading is actually executed, and what levels mean and how they are being used. But you can very quickly see how these levels come into play. So just seeing this bouncing off divergences, and then just like smashing right through. It's like, okay, we're done with this level for now, we're going to smash through it. And that was the last time that this level was actually worked with. So I love it. I love watching this in action. Seeing what price does, and generally once price smashes through a level, it's just going to go boom, it's just going to go. So no more messing around, and that's what we kind of ahead. Okay, so right now we've got some breakout markers. You'll see these positioning over here. So fantastic. So I hope you guys really enjoy that. We've got our trend, take it and run signal chart, which is Again, another absolutely incredible system. A beautiful document has been written for this one too. A lot more simpler. It hasn't got the Fibonacci levels on, but it does have, an overall trend type of a smoothing average over here, which I think this one is on like 100 period. So it's a decent smoothing average just to give us an overall trend direction, parameter. And then we've got our breakout marker. So, we've also got our white dots and our yellow dots. So these change according to the coloring of the wave that's in place. And again, the wave is just a combination of different moving averages that are plotting together. So, we have like, it's more like a trend. It's basically a trend template this. So, you're able to, that's why it's called take it and run, because, you're identifying a trend, you identifying where the likelihood of price, if it breaks through certain levels, you got to be careful. So you've got a very good trend system over here, and it's just basically finding those entry points, which can be identified by the breakout markers, excuse me, identified by price bouncing off different levels. Obviously, these breakout markers are absolutely pivotal in this regard. And they just provide you incredible entry. So absolutely incredible. And that's as far as the signal charts will cover. Okay, so actually, while we're looking at this, I wanted to just bring up another chart. So that's our trending baseline chart so far on the 347, 247 chart. So trending baseline, what's our flat baseline? This is a smaller baseline chart. Okay, so I wanted to bring up a new chart, and I've been doing a significant amount of work behind the scenes on the analytical strategies, the baseline wick trader strategies, and the SI strategies. And the one thing in common that they all have is they're all using a specific indicator. So before I do that, I just want to increase the chart margin over here. I like to have a little bit of a margin on the right. It's pretty awesome. So if I can save this, that'll be good. So if you go into your indicator settings, you're going to notice that there is obviously the list of indicators. Now, as a DTB member, you have access to all of these indicators. So you're not going to have like individual bits and pieces that you have to get. So, that's the huge benefit of being a subscriber to the DTB system is it's a proper system. It's a system of tools that are designed to work together. It's a complete system that's gonna present price in an absolutely fantastic way. So looking through the indicators, you're gonna see there's you're gonna see that I've just differentiated the different indicators just because there's a continuous strategy where it's got multiple slots, but then also the individual one, for different slots. So the SI indicator that is used in the baseline wick trader strategy is going to be the SI indicator. So bringing that up on a chart, and when you first load it, just load it up on like a 259. I might even make those as default settings, but this indicator is programmed to work on each tick within the automated strategies, but it's not really necessary to have it working on each tick on a signal chart or on any other chart. So you can definitely change this to on bar close. Excuse me, I've got this lingering cough here. So the benefit of having this on bar close is it's also going to give NinjaTrader less work to do. So calculate on each tick. There's a lot of calculations happening in the background. Not really necessary to do it in real time when you're looking at a signal chart, because it might clog up NinjaTrader. Now, unfortunately, NinjaTrader does not have a very good garbage management system, like getting rid of things, getting rid of variables and used things on a chart. Kind of hangs on to everything. So if you have this on bar close and it's going to present those colors, you're going to see it plot like this. So these are what I call the brick wall. So areas of high importance, similar to how the the breakout volume markers work, but totally different, if you understand. So they're showing completely different values, but they're providing those absolutely fantastic levels. Now you could go and load up the volume breakout markers too, if you wanted to. And in fact, I might just load one or two just while we got this, and we'll see if any of those levels are with those specific ones or match the brick wall indicators. So let's do that. So if I go to breakout volume, okay, so there's our breakout volume markers, and I'll just pop on 2 at this stage. So you'll see if you pop it on, you'll see it's got the default settings are for the white template. And if you go over here, so another benefit obviously is you have all these templates that are provided, with the DTB system. So I'm going to load that up. I'm going to apply that. And there we go. So now we've got our 2 breakout volume markers. And I see the line dash. Okay, so if you notice on the breakout volume, it's got like a 5 line dash. You can make that a little bit narrower, especially if you got the brick walls on the chart, because they do look very similar. And if you really wanted to, you could adjust the type of a format that those are in. So if you go to like a dash dot like that, it will change the the look of the breakout volume, just so that it displays differently to the actual breakout dots or the SI brick walls. Sorry, all these terms. There we go. So there you're going to have the brick walls from the SI indicator, and you're going to have the breakout volume. So when you're seeing something like this, you've got your breakout volume on those brick walls. So those are significant points to consider when entering positions. And there we had, so you might have been taken into a sell position over here based on what you're seeing over there, and the price immediately reversed. And the interesting thing is that, the shadow trading indicator would have provided some insight into those arrows and stuff too. But looking at this, you're quite accurately able to define entry points. And you can scroll back as far as you want on the chart. And remember, these brick walls are formed and placed on the bar that they are closing. So there's 0, 0, 0 repaints on this. And the cool thing too is you can actually optimize the analytical strategy, and you could get values for your SI indicator and adjust those on the chart. But even just applying this to this chart, even like a 2020 NQ, and you can make this MNQ too. So it's not, any single instrument that you want to, you can adjust. You can adjust the time frame, you can adjust the bars, and they are going to plot these values. So, absolutely incredible. Now, and you can also change the size of the bars. So, it's not only that, you can even change to different instruments. So you can even change to the Russell 2000. Now, the RTY 2020 might not be the size that you work with specifically on this, because the price moves a little bit less during the Asian session. But as you can see, during the US session, you are going to have so many points to enter price. You're going to have these, these brick walls being plotted, the bar coloring changes. Absolutely incredible for even scalping price. So we'll look at a couple more. Let's have a look at the gold even. Again, we've got a 2020 bar. The price has just started for the day. That's why you're seeing, coloring like that. But during the session, that's probably a much larger bar. So if you go into your data series, and, a common value to use will be like a 10 and a 10 over here. And you could apply this also obviously to the GC chart. But that too is going to provide those, those brick walls of areas of interest. And this is an extremely, extremely, extremely powerful indicator. I mean, that's why so many of the strategies are using it. There's technology in this tool that is beyond anything that exists, and which is why we're able to create so many different strategies, even using this. So the amount of flexibility we have using this indicator and the settings that it produces, we're able to achieve all those incredible results that you are looking at, as part of our group results. You're able to see all of these results, and they're all generated from, the use of this indicator in automated strategies. I see a question on the group calls. Yes, I've learned to respect the orange bar on the take it and run. There we go. Beautiful. So keep working on that. Extremely powerful. So again, in looking at the gold, so any instrument that you can work on, if you find the bar size that you want to trade, you're looking at the brick walls, you're looking at the bar coloring, you are going to very, 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 very often be able to get into positions and work with these signals. So obviously you can combine them with a few others. So we'll switch back to the NQ. Now there was a specific point I wanted to make about this, and it's kind of eluded my immediate train of thought. Okay, so like I said, this indicator is being used in all the strategies. So, okay, that's a 10-10. So maybe a bit small, because you can see a lot more of these formations over here. So not really ideal for, the session like this, because it, is a bit of a small bar size. So I would say the lowest you would go to on the NQ or the MNQ is probably a 20-20. I mean, that's because that's looking at like a 40 range of price, because the price has to move, up 20 or down 20 from its open, up 20 or down 40. So it's kind of in a range showing this. So this is pretty awesome to have it this way. Now, what we've recently done is we've introduced the SI continuous indicator. So what this does is it's actually separating the periods of the day, because as you guys know, price is moving at different speeds throughout the day. Price is moving at different ranges throughout the day. So with that in mind, we've actually got the extension for this indicator, and that is called the DTB SI indicator for the continuous strategy. So what this is able to do now is you're able to assign different slot times for each period of the day. So like there we go, we've got, up to 10 slots. And what I've done over here is I've actually used only the top 6. So the top 6 has got your 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., 11 p.m. to 3, 3 to 8, 3 to 8:40, 8:45 to 11, 11 till 2, 2 to 4:45. So that's basically breaking up the whole trading day by slot 6. And I've just got slot 7 in there with some numbers afterwards. Doesn't matter, because I've actually got a tick box in this strategy or in this indicator that you're able to select those specific slots. So 7, 8, 9, 10 are actually being ignored because the strategy is no longer using 7, 8, 9, 10. It's only using the top 6. So again, you can put this on bar close. Now, this has got the same setting for all values. So if you go back now, you're going to see that setting 255 is used for all slots of the day. Okay, not what you want to have. So I just want to check if I've got some templates saved in here, because I certainly know that the strategy itself has got templates in there. Just see if I've got any loaded in here specifically. Okay, no, because I had to work on that. So excuse me. So when you're running the strategy analyzer and you're optimizing the different values, so if you look at our game plan example for the week that we are going to be reviewing in a second, I should bring it up on another screen over here. Okay, so our game plan document, you'll see on our game plan document that we have a continuous setting over there. If I can just bring this up, that'll be good. So we've done an optimization for, this was last week's optimization, by the way. So looking at the baseline wick trader continuous for last week, you'll see that there's all the slots. So I don't have the slot values over here for the A and B settings, which might be a good idea to actually put on this chart too. So I might incorporate that on a future update. But what I wanted to see is I wanted to see those specific settings for that. So a good way to be able to bring that up is to go onto our MNQ like this and go back to the indicator settings and just remove this specific settings. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to load the strategy. Now the strategy is going to just produce those brick walls according to the settings that we have. So if I go to the baseline wick trader continuous strategy and I go template load, and I choose a template over here, 9 p.m. to 4 p.m. What that's going to do is it's going to pre-fill all of those very specific slot values, and it's going to put them on the chart. Now, because I've got specific target ticks and stop ticks on here, it's going to show those according to that. So when you activate a strategy like this, and unfortunately I haven't actually put in the indicator itself. So there's a setting over here you can use for draw the chart indicator. Okay, what's going on here? Let's see. Okay, so we've got that. Yeah, I don't think this is going to do exactly what I wanted to do, but it's just a good way. So if you're going to optimize these time slots and optimize these slots, it's a good idea to use extremely wide targets and stops, because that's providing a better indication of those brick walls. But even just applying it like this, and I think that'll do the trick. I've added the indicator. No, it's not doing what I wanted to do at all, actually. This has been optimized for scalping. So as you can see, it's just got a lot of brick walls, and it's been, optimized just to take scalping position. So not really what we wanted to project over here. So no, throw that idea out the window for right now. But just because this optimization hasn't been done specifically for what I intended to do. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just show you guys that you can actually have different settings for different times of the day to be able to identify when to enter more accurately based on even your manual trading. So there's another template over here. I'll just see if that one looks any better. So it's just a matter of working with the optimizations. Having different values, and then having those values present on the chart in the indicator. Okay, so that's more of an overall look that I was looking for to identify, but it's only set up for certain hours of the day. Okay. God, look at that manipulation over there, 8:30. So the idea behind this was just to try and get settings for different times of the day. And this might be something that you just need to play around with. I haven't, done a lot of work on this for identifying the different slots throughout the day, just because, the indicator is set to, calculate with the strategy and you're trying to identify trading opportunities for that time of the day based on those brick walls. And this is going against the brick wall. So it's not primarily the very best thing to do, but you're going to be able to identify over time, what settings will be ideal for different periods of the day. And it might just be a matter of just playing with a few different numbers. And that's probably the best way I would say to use this. So, if you're using like we did 259, this one over here, I would say is a very similar time. So if we just do that, if I just go slot 1 and slot 2 as an example, and just deactivate the other slots, then what we can see is what that looks like on the chart. And all we're trying to do is we're trying to make it present in a way that is showing us those brick walls. Okay, so I think we'll have to cover this another time because I'm not getting the results that that I want out of this. And it also might be a better case of just using the standard brick wall indicator, because this one is a bit more complex with different times. So for whatever period of time that you are trading throughout the day, activating this, but a very, very good place to start, like the absolute best place to start, is just popping this on any chart with a 259. And if you want to have your up and down arrows, you can. But just basically doing this on bar close, that's going to present to you, the most incredible signals. Okay, so looking at that, what else are we going to do? So game plan. So game plan for the week. I see that there have been some really good templates that have been shared. So if I go back to my game plan chat or the game plan, if I go back to the game plan, there's no work in here. Okay. Oh yes, I was actually comparing some different data feeds. So the analytical strategy, so when I did my optimization and I put it across 2 different machines, I noticed that on one of my data feeds, we had this, that's what price looked like. And on the other data feed, that's what it looked like. So when you have data corruption, which you have with every single data provider, you're going to have signals that are going to just be thrown off a little bit for that specific day. And but it doesn't happen all the time, but you can see over there that's a blatant data manipulation thing that happened over there. So you can see how that affected the bar coloring just because that data is not actually consistent. And then you can see it did kind of a catch up and follow on later. But when you see things like that, that could pinpoint specific times where a strategy will show a losing day. Meanwhile, on a data feed that's complete, it's actually there. Okay, so going to our game plan results. So this is, if you look over here on this chat, you'll see the link to that game plan. So I'll just bring that up. Okay, so we're going to, like I said, this week we're going to run 8 and 9 and most probably only 12 and 13. So we'll see how the week progresses, because obviously we're going to have a break during the week. And I've kept my templates, the same for last week. But what I've noticed too is you guys have shared some templates inside your chats over here. So feel free to use these templates that have been provided here. They're probably going to be performing a lot better than mine, because you've obviously taken the time to really go and re-optimize and work on those. So definitely go work on those. There might even be some analytical strategies over here that the templates are looking very good. So feel free to download these templates. Christopher's very kind in sharing them with us. Oh, yes, and I did notice one thing over here as I was flicking through. Where was I before this? I was at the analytical. That's where I was. The baseline wick trader. So on the baseline wick trader, you are able to use the NinjaTrader bars. Okay, exactly how they are. And that is because, even though these NinjaTrader bars are showing a false opening, the actual distance away from the signals is where the price needs to go to enter. That's why you're going to see all of these entries are going to actually be at valid points, because the price has actually been to that level. So, these bars only form when the price has touched that level. Obviously, they're going to show false opening, but this strategy is not entering on the opening of the bar. It's opening at specific price levels. So you are able to optimize the strategies using the NinjaTrader bars if you wanted to. It's obviously not my favorite bar, because the DTB bars shits all over this bar type completely. But I'm just saying that some of you guys have worked with these bars in the past and may just want to play around with, having a strategy or two running on them. There's no right or wrong. It can work on, on any tick bars, the strategy. So, so feel free to look at that too. Okay, cool. So that's as far as I wanted to go this week. So, check the game plan out, but also look at the templates that have been provided. Look at scalping. So, these indicators, even though they're part of automated strategies, they were first indicators before that, right? So you are able to, use these just for your manual trading, but also optimize them for your strategies. I think there was a question I got there. Are these automated as well as just indicators? Yes, there we go. So that's exactly what it is. So you're able to use this as a signal chart to enter positions based on what you're seeing, and not just based on what you're seeing on that. You can incorporate it with your other signal charts, which are showing you more values, including the shadow trading, which is out of this world incredible. You've got your manipulation detector, which is telling you the current momentum of price. So definitely there to kick ass. Hey guys, thank you so much. I think we covered everything we needed to cover on the call. So yeah, thanks guys for jumping on. And congrats to the new guys who started this week too. We had a few new guys start. Really just follow the instructions with setting up the trading platform. Extremely important. We've got an amazing script that was provided to help you guys set up the trading platform properly. There's some very detailed instructions on the actual settings within the trading platform. So extremely important. And let's kick ass. All right. Okay, guys, have a fantastic week. And any updates, I'm going to be working during the week on some really significant updates. I'm working on an auto optimizing indicator that you're looking at on the chart now. So, or not this one. It's the auto optimizing indicator. This one over here. So, obviously the indicator is presenting its values, but so it's basically monitoring the market conditions. When certain values are met, it's plotting values. But I'm working on a very, very, very intuitive back-end scene where there are where it is calculating all those values, storing those values to get an average of what has presented itself. And even though it's still presenting, what your specific settings are, it's keeping a record of what settings are have been more predominant. And I'm finding a way of how that can filter into, live updates. So it's quite a complicated back-end system, which I'm working on. But, I really want to make sure that, I'm staying as up to date and ahead of everybody else And that's certainly where I am. I mean, I'm way above any other vendor providing any other trading tools. It's like so evident, so evident that that's the case. But I still want to keep innovating. So that's what keeps me up at night, and that's what I am focused on doing. Okay, guys, have a fantastic week, and we shall chat to you later. Thanks, guys. Cheers.